This week on Ham Radio Adventure Guy, your one stop for everything adventure radio. Alright guys, we are here with Ryan and he's going to show you some stuff that I think you guys are going to really like. We all love our POTA stuff and taking our radios out. And get you his banner here. Alright Ryan, tell us a little bit about your stuff.
Well, we're Armoloq, Armoloq.com. We build protective cages for ham radio, LMR, and GMRS radios. This is the perfect setup for POTA. They're basic, a little bit of a protective rails on steroids. Let me get a smaller version, a little bit easier for the camera. This is the basis of the product is protecting your radio. It protrudes past the front of the radio and past the back of the radio, because we don't just break knobs off. We also like to waller out these connectors on the back and pinch our coax. So if you had a radio maybe in your car sitting like that next to the console, you can do that with this product because it sticks out to the back. The other thing that you can do with this is zip tie your connectors, so you can come out of the back of the radio, make you a nice little loop, zip tie it to the cage, and now you have strain relief on the peripherals on the back of the radio. The original intent was upright in a backpack, and it just kind of spiraled out of control. That we found people like to use it for far more than just in the backpack. You take the 705 for example. There's the original intent, upright in your backpack, relocate your RF mount, so now you can leave your radio in your backpack and still connect to your coax. You don't have to take it in and out, and you get to wherever it is you're going to operate. Plus, on a smaller radio, some guys like to have a small antenna connected to it and use it in place of the handy talkie. If in the case of the 817, for example, I don't recommend that you run that antenna on the face of the radio, because that's putting that connector in a position it's not meant to be in. And if you're walking through, say you're hiking down a trail and you hit a couple of tree limbs with that antenna, the radio's not going to appreciate you. So you can very easily relocate that and solve that problem. With this particular one, now you have the option of being in your backpack, but with the added advantage of being able to turn it upright. Now you're on the park bench. You don't have to prop your radio up with a bag of chips or a rock that you find. You don't have to squat down to see the display. We've taken a lot of care in being able to reach all of your functions, and sometimes it's a trade-off. Some of the smaller radios, it's hard to get your fingers in there and get to them, but it certainly beats a broken knob.
Absolutely.
So I'd like to show you another product, or another use of the product over here. This box here, this is my actual field day kit. And this is very ham radio. It's whatever box you had with whatever you wanted to put in there, and you threw it up in your box and you crammed it down and you throw the lid down and you go out to field day. There's an 857 crammed down in there. Specifically with that radio, there's no service anymore for that. It's harder to get parts than it's ever been. You darn sure don't want to break that radio. But I've got it in the cage, I've got it in the TPA, I've got a tuner zip tied to it. I don't have to worry about breaking my knobs off. I don't have to worry about breaking any of my connectors off in the back. And that's been running like that for several years. Just like that, every year for field day, winter field day, plus on many camping trips.
And see about having the machine or just source them.
All right. So this is the way you guys had originally intended. It's
right, and this one you can access all of the features. You got if you're doing FT8, you can hook your sound card up to it, your CW key, and then that's how I've relocated the VHF and HF. This is basically the same setup over here, just outside the pack. So if you were gonna run like a whip antenna on there out of your pack, you would hook it to here, and it's just a simple relocation factor here. And I was testing out this little coax, just kind of playing around. This is our toy table over here.
Excellent. All right, and they can go to your webpage to find out exactly what radios you make cages for.
Armoloq.com. Put it in whatever your search engine of your choice, Armoloq, and come check us out.
All right. We thank you very much, and hopefully you guys will check him out. If you like this video from Ham Radio Adventure Guy, click up here in the corner and watch another one. And while you're at it, click down here in the corner and subscribe. Make sure and follow us on all social media sites. And as always, thanks for sharing my adventure with me.